Imagine this. You buy a simple gadget to solve a problem. Something small, like a smart lock for your fridge. And then, out of nowhere, your neighbor's son calls 911 on you. He says you're trespassing over a fridge lock. That's exactly what happened to me. And let me tell you, it was a wild ride. I'm still shaking my head over it. So, grab a snack, maybe lock it up first, and let's dive into this crazy story. It all started a few months ago. I live in an apartment building with a shared kitchen space. It's one of those setups where tenants share a big fridge. Sounds nice, right? Well, not when your food keeps disappearing. I'm talking sandwiches, leftovers, even my favorite yogurt, gone. At first, I thought, maybe I forgot where I put it. But then it happened again. And again. I was fed up. I work hard. I buy my groceries. And I deserve to eat my own food. Has this ever happened to you? It's the worst feeling, like someone's just walking all over your boundaries. So, I decided to do something about it. I found this cool smart lock online. It's a little device you put on your fridge door. You control it with an app on your phone. It locks the fridge when you're not around, so nobody can sneak in and grab your stuff. Genius, right? It was only like $20, and I thought, problem solved. I was so excited when it arrived. I set it up in 5 minutes, tested it with my phone, and boom, my food was safe. Or so I thought. Enter my neighbor. Let's call her Karen, because, well, it fits. Karen lives down the hall, and she's got this son, maybe in his 20s, who acts like he owns the entire building. I'll call him Chad. Chad's the kind of guy who blasts music at 2 a.m. and leaves his trash in the hallway. You know the type. Entitled, loud, and always in your business. I try to avoid him, but in a shared space, that's easier said than done. One day, I'm in the kitchen grabbing a drink. The smart lock is on the fridge, doing its job. Chad walks in, opens the fridge, and stops dead in his tracks. He sees the lock and loses it. "What's this?" he yells, pointing at it like I've committed a crime. I stay calm and explain. It's just a lock to keep my food safe. Someone's been taking it. Simple, right? Nope. Chad's face turns red. He starts shouting, "You're locking my fridge? You can't do that. That's stealing." I'm stunned. His fridge? We all share it. I tell him, this is my lock, and it's my right to protect my stuff. But he's not listening. Then it gets worse. Chad steps closer, smirking, and says something I'll never forget. He makes a nasty comment about my background, something racist and totally out of line. My heart sinks. I feel this mix of anger and hurt. I'm just trying to keep my food safe, and now I'm being attacked for who I am. It's not just about the fridge anymore. It's personal. I tell him to back off, but he's on a roll. He says, "You don't belong here, locking things up like you own the place." I'm shaking, but I hold my ground. I say, "This is my home too. Leave me alone." Chad storms out, yelling, "You'll regret this." I'm calling the cops. I'm left standing there, heart racing. The cops? Over a fridge lock? I almost laugh, but I'm too upset. I go back to my apartment, trying to process what just happened. Was he serious? Who calls 911 over something this petty? I start second-guessing myself. Maybe I shouldn't have gotten the lock. But no, I push that thought away. I have every right to protect my stuff. This isn't about me doing something wrong. It's about Chad's entitlement. And that racist comment? That's a whole other level of wrong. A couple of hours later, I hear a knock on my door. My stomach drops. I peek through the peephole, and sure enough, there are 2 police officers standing there. I open the door, trying to stay calm. "Good afternoon," one officer says. "We got a call about a trespassing issue." I'm floored. Trespassing? In my own building? I invite them in and explain the whole story. I show them my phone, the app, the smart lock, everything. I tell them about the missing food, Chad's outburst, and his racist remarks. I'm nervous, but I'm honest. The officers listen, nodding. One of them even smirks when I mention the fridge lock. "So, this is about a $20 gadget?" he asks. I nod, feeling a bit ridiculous, but also relieved they seem to get it. The officers head to the kitchen to check it out. I follow, my heart pounding. Chad's there with Karen, both looking smug. Karen's got her arms crossed, acting like she's the victim. Chad's pointing at the fridge, saying, "That lock's illegal. He's stealing our space." I'm fuming, but I let the officers handle it. They inspect the lock, ask a few questions, and then turn to Chad. "Sir," one officer says, "this fridge is shared. He's allowed to secure his property." Chad's jaw drops. Karen starts arguing, But we've always used that fridge. The officer cuts her off. Doesn't mean you can take his food. Then the officer asks me if I want to press charges for the harassment. I'm tempted, especially after Chad's racist comments. I can see the panic in his eyes. But I take a deep breath and say, no, I just want this to stop. The officers nod, warn Chad and Karen to leave me alone, and head out. As the door closes, I catch Chad muttering under his breath, but Karen pulls him away. They're embarrassed, and honestly, they should be. I sit down, letting out a huge sigh of relief. My food's safe, the lock staying, and Chad's nonsense. Got called out. But I'm still shaken. That racist comment keeps replaying in my head. It's not just about a fridge lock. It's about being made to feel like I don't belong. And that's not okay. I start thinking about all the people who deal with this kind of thing every day. Entitled neighbors, unfair accusations, or worse, prejudice for no reason. It's exhausting, isn't it? Looking back, I'm proud of how I handled it. I stood up for myself without sinking to Chad's level. The smart lock? Still on my fridge. Working like a charm. No more missing yogurt. But more than that, this whole mess taught me something. People like Chad and Karen thrive on making others feel small. They think they can bully their way through life. But when you stand your ground, calmly and confidently, they crumble. The police saw through their nonsense in minutes. And that felt good. So, what's the takeaway? Don't let entitled people push you around. Whether it's a fridge lock or something bigger, you have the right to set boundaries. And if someone tries to make you feel less because of who you are, don't let them win. Keep being you. Keep standing tall. I'm curious, has anything like this ever happened to you? Maybe a crazy neighbor or a ridiculous argument over something small. Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. And if you enjoyed this wild tale, hit that like button and subscribe for more. Trust me, I've got plenty of stories to share. Until next time, keep your fridge locked and your head held high.